Why does a cracked bone heal, while a cracked wall stays broken? Why are we still building a world that is designed to die? Look at your home. It feels solid, but it is actually rotting from the inside out. Rain eats the wood. Rust eats the steel. We are trapped in a trillion-dollar cycle of repair and decay. This is the hidden tax of being human. We build static things that cannot think or feel. Compare a concrete pillar to a human bone. When you break a bone, it heals itself. When concrete cracks, it stays broken until you pay someone to fix it. But that is about to change. We are moving from building dead shelters to growing living organisms. If you stay until the end of this video, I will show you how your own home could become a living, immortal asset that never needs a repairman again. How did the Romans build structures that still stand after 2,000 years? We call our modern world advanced, but our buildings are weak. We use steel and high-tech concrete, yet our bridges crumble in just 50 years. The Romans had a secret. They used a special mix that included volcanic ash and lime clasts. For a long time, we thought these lime chunks were just a mistake. We were wrong. Those tiny white rocks were the building's immune system. When a crack formed and water got inside, the lime dissolved and filled the gap. The concrete literally healed itself. Today, we do the opposite. We use steel-reinforced concrete. We think the steel makes it stronger, but steel is the problem. It is like a poison inside the building. Water eventually reaches the steel and makes it rust. As the rust grows, it pushes the concrete apart from the inside out. This is a disaster by design. It creates a massive financial trap. Every year, we spend $2.5 trillion just to stop our world from turning into a pile of rubble. We are pouring money into a hole that never fills up. We have traded immortality for temporary strength, and we are paying the price. The solution to our crumbling world starts with a tiny hero called Bacillus pseudofermus. This is a special type of bacteria that can sleep inside dry concrete for over 200 years. It does not need food or oxygen to survive while it sleeps, but the moment a crack forms and water touches it, the bacteria wake up. They begin to eat the minerals around them and produce limestone. This limestone fills the crack and seals the building back up. It is like having a tiny repair crew living inside your walls, waiting for a job. But we are going even further than just using bacteria. Scientists are now building vascular networks inside our walls. Think about how blood moves through your veins to heal a cut on your skin. We are doing the same thing with building. We are putting tiny 3D tubes inside the concrete. These tubes are filled with a special healing resin. When the concrete cracks, the tubes break too. They bleed the resin into the gap. This liquid quickly hardens and fixes the damage. The best part is that these networks can heal the exact same spot over 50 times. The building becomes a living, breathing body with its own circulatory system. This technology will change everything. It will destroy the construction mafia that relies on constant repairs to make money. Right now, companies get rich because things break. They want you to pay for new foundations and expensive patches every decade. But what happens to their profits when a foundation never needs to be replaced? What happens when a bridge stays perfect for a century without a single human worker touching it? We are moving toward a world where buildings are independent. They will protect themselves, and they will protect your wallet. Now we must look at the skin of the building. Most houses use fiberglass or foam for insulation. These materials are dead and can be toxic, but the future is being grown from mushrooms. We are using mycelium, which are the tiny roots of fungi. We can grow these roots into any shape we want. They are fireproof, stronger than some plastics, and they never stop being part of the living world. Instead of buying insulation from a factory, we will simply grow it in a mold. This makes the house feel organic. It is a warm, natural blanket that protects you from the cold. But the real magic is on the outside of the skyscraper. Scientists have created something called synthetic lichen. This is a bioengineered coating that acts like a living skin. It covers the entire building and turns it into a giant lung. As the planet gets warmer and there is more carbon dioxide in the air, this lichen gets hungry. It breathes in the pollution and turns it into solid calcium. This means the building actually gets thicker and stronger as the air gets dirtier. We aren't just saving the planet, we are using the planet's problems to build our future. This living envelope also acts like a real body. On a hot summer day, the building sweats. It releases tiny amounts of water through its pores to cool the interior down. When winter hits, the skin changes its texture to trap heat, almost like a person shivering to stay warm. This happens autonomously. No one needs to turn on an air conditioner or a heater. The building knows what it needs to do to survive. Your home becomes a partner that manages its own energy to keep you comfortable. A skeleton and skin are not enough for a living thing. To truly be alive, a building needs a nervous system. We are now creating conscious infrastructure using genetic intelligence. Scientists are using a special bacteria called Comagataebacter rheticus. These microbes are engineered to act like biological sensors. They are spread throughout the material of the building. They can sense tiny structural problems long before a human eye could ever see a crack. If the building feels too much stress in one corner, these bacteria send out a chemical signal. They act like the nerves in your fingertips that tell your brain when something is too hot or too sharp. To carry these signals, we are using conductive polymers. These are materials that allow electricity to flow through walls like a giant web of nerves. This gives the building the ability to feel vibrations, wind pressure, and weight. All of this data flows into a central brain managed by AI. This brain is the guardian of the structure. If a massive storm hits, the AI can shift the structural integrity of the building in real time. It can tighten certain areas or loosen others to absorb the impact of the wind. The building is no longer a dumb object waiting to be hit. It is an active participant in its own survival. This is the end of human error. We no longer have to worry if a builder forgot a bolt or if a beam is getting old. The building knows its own strength better than any inspector ever could. For the anxious visionary, this is the ultimate peace of mind. You can finally trust the roof over your head because the roof is literally watching out for you. It is aware, it is alert, and it is alive. Every dream has a dark side. When we turn our homes into living things, we open the door to new and terrifying risks. If a building is alive, can it get sick? This is the living trap. Imagine a world where a biological virus doesn't just infect people, but attacks the walls of your city. A disease in your home's skin could cause the insulation to rot or the concrete to soften. We might see hospital crews for buildings instead of repairmen. If the building's immune system fails, the structure could actually die. We have to ask ourselves, how do we bury a dead skyscraper that is made of living tissue? Then there is the question of power and money. In the old world, you owned your house because you bought the bricks. But in the future, your house is made of patented DNA. Who truly owns the genetic code of your walls? If a big tech company owns the life inside your home, do you really own your property? They could potentially turn off your home's healing abilities if you don't pay a monthly subscription fee. We could see a monopoly on life where the very shelter we live in is controlled by a corporate headquarters. This creates a massive social shift. We will no longer be homeowners in the way we understand it today. Instead, we become symbiotic partners. You provide the building with energy and care, and the building provides you with protection and health. It is a relationship based on mutual survival. This change is exciting, but it is also disruptive. We are stepping away from a world of simple objects and moving into a world where our most private spaces have their own needs and their own identities. We have reached the end of the static world. I promise to show you how your home could become an immortal asset. This is how it happens. By using self-healing bacteria and living lichen, your house stops being a bill you have to pay. It stops being a liability that drains your bank account every time a pipe leaks or a wall cracks. Instead, it becomes a partner that maintains itself. It saves you a fortune over your lifetime. This is a home that does not rot. It is a home you can pass down to your children and grandchildren without worrying about a crumbling foundation. It is the first truly permanent thing we have ever owned. Close your eyes and imagine a future city. It does not look like a cold, gray grid of concrete and steel. Instead, it looks like a lush forest. The skyscrapers are covered in shimmering green skins that breathe with the wind. The bridges look like giant silver branches that never rust. The air is clean because the buildings are eating the pollution. The streets are quiet because the living walls absorb the noise. It is a peaceful world where technology and nature are the same thing. This is not a dream. The tools to grow this world are already here. Now, I want you to rethink your world. Stop accepting dead buildings that are designed to fail. Stop paying the hidden tax of maintenance and decay. It is time to demand living structures that work for us and for the planet. We have been builders for thousands of years. Now, it is time to become gardeners of our own civilization. We are standing at the edge of a revolution that will change every wall you touch and every floor you walk on. The future isn't built, it's grown.